Salutations. Just checking the time because I was about to go. I think I can say good morning still, just slightly. I mean, not that it matters, you know. Well, it is still morning as I'm recording it, but who knows what time of day you're watching? If you're watching, if anyone watches, if anyone wants to like waste, I don't know however many minutes, potentially hours. This could be no. I really don't want to make it this long. Anyway, hello. um, I did write about this morning, but I just want to talk about it too a little bit. You know, just to bore you shitless with it. That it is anniversary day, and I cannot believe a year has gone by. A year. Where did it go? Where did that year go? I mean, like I said, the small mercy is that it has gone by quickly, considering it's been a freaking shit ass year. Well, see, it started well, not really well, till about whatever middle of March, and then middle March. Thanks, George. That is George Eliot, right? Middle March. I've never read any George Eliot. That's what I should do. I should read more classics. I haven't read many classics. I don't think I've ever read a Thomas Hardy. I'm pretty sure I've never read any George Eliot. Never read any Bronte sisters stuff. I'm really bad. I know of these things, and I know the general plot of some things. Yeah, but I haven't read any of them. I don't think I've even read Dracula. I think I've gone to read Dracula a couple of times, but haven't. Should read Frankenstein as well. I need to watch Young Frankenstein. I should make it my Halloween birthday tradition to watch Young Frankenstein. Anyway, we really segued off the beaten track then, didn't we? I actually don't know what I want to talk about with this. I actually wanted to just talk more about that tomorrow is St. Andrew's Day. That I want to kind of do something slightly, tiny little bit celebratory. I never know which way I should say that. Celebratory, yeah. I used to say celebratory, but that sounds really wrong now. Potato, I don't know. whichever takes your fancy. Yeah, but I don't know what is especially particularly Scottish that we can do other than give myself a tam o' shanter. Dress up in a kilt. Eat haggis, neeps and tatties, except I can't have haggis. I was actually thinking about, I could do that. Will the shops be open tomorrow? I didn't even know if it's actually deemed a holiday. Surely the Tesco at St. Rollox will be open. And if it is, then I'm thinking, just getting the vegetarian lawn sausage and morning rolls. Some iron brew. A couple of Tunnocks tea cakes. That'll do it. Yeah, so this morning was a frosty old morning. Haven't really had frost so far. And it was just like, well, apart from it's not as sunny, it's dry, but it was a really gloriously sunny morning when we arrived last year. It's just like yesterday. Yesterday was like how it was when we arrived last year, with just cloudless sunny sky, except we didn't have the frost yesterday morning, which is strange considering it started so clear and sunny. But there was no frost, but the frost was hard this morning. So yeah. But actually, I'm thinking about it and going, well, I shouldn't have been here. I shouldn't have been here for this 1 year anniversary. I should have been out there and would have just seen a gig. Oh my God. They would have played Melbourne. They would have played Melbourne on the 28th. Damn. And I would have been there. Well, hopefully would have been there. I don't know. Yeah, had the year panned out as it should have, I think I would have, like, by hook or by crook, had been there. But who knows if I'll be going now next year, if next year happens. There's a part of me that just kind of, still wants to commit as the last kind of thing that I do, like, ever. Like, if it is literally the last Simple Minds concert I see. Well, we'll see. Don't know. Anyway, that's really maudlin, and we don't want maudlin. We want, yay, the year being a token kind of, adopted Ouija. With absolutely no chance of ever doing any kind of accent well, or not even going to try. The other half came in just a few minutes prior to me starting this, going, to see Nori outside, and he says, I like your decorations. We get the Nori vote of approval. But we yet to find out whether Robert's impressed. Because it all hinges on that, that gauntlet thrown down and everything. So we have to see. I don't know. It was a bit of a mixed kind of mixed results on what we have. The actual lights around the house, we didn't think we were going to have it around the house too much, but it became the lights go like 2/3 of the way down the edging on the side. 40 meters of lighting, and it's barely like covered like you know, around the side of the house, the front of the house, and down like what, like 2/3 of the hedge down the side. I mean, I think we should have invested in the other one, because the first set of lights I was looking at, it was like 90, I think it was 90 meters of coverage, and then I was going, oh, 90 meters, that sounds like, you know, fuck tons. I'm going, that'd be way too much. It'd be overkill. How the hell are we gonna like accommodate 90 meters of lighting? That's stupid. Okay, 40 meters surely should cover enough, shouldn't it? You know, that'd be more than ample. How I underestimated just how quickly 40 meters is taken up by just, you know, going around the facade of the side of a house and the front of a house. And then, I mean, okay, we'd kind of like roped the thing down the hedging, so, you know, the hedging's kind of got a little kind of swirl of it, just so it wasn't just going down. If it went down in a straight line, it probably would go all the way down to the end of the side hedging, but, you know, it's not going to look much to just have that going down like that. So should have got the 90-meter stuff, because then we could have done the front as well. Oh my god, would have been overkill though. I mean, it looked like Blackpool illuminations as it was last night. I mean, they're great lights. They've got a, you know, a good cycle on them. They sort of like just start at kind of nothing and then fade up to brightness and then flash. So, you know, flash at one light, set like one flash at one colour and a flash at another colour. So like a kind of long flash, like kind of, there's the colour and there's the other colour, and then both colours come on, and then it's like it's really kind of good. Yeah, getting excited about having lights up. Never had a house to kind of warrant putting Christmas lights up like that. I don't felt weird, like in Oz, to kind of do that kind of stuff, because, well, one, you know, doesn't, well, unlike here when it's, you know, takes until about, well, especially up here, and it takes till about 11 o'clock in the summertime to get dark. I mean, it's probably getting dark about 8:30, 9 o'clock in Oz, but it still feels weird because, you know, true darkness doesn't hit probably until maybe 9:30, I guess, you know, not as late as what's experienced here. Yeah, and I guess also just the idea of having lights up and the potential for fire hazards, because back in those days, I mean, you had those having lights on your trees and stuff. You just, those things seemed like they would just spontaneously combust if they were in the wrong place, or you had them on too long, or whatever. I mean, now they're kind of LEDs and there's nothing in them that really gets overheated or anything like that, so they're pretty safe these days. But back then, there seemed to be lots of house fires that would happen from people's trees being set on fire by the lights that they had on them and things like that. So we would have lights on a tree, but Mum was always that, like, vigilant like that, and just turn them off at night before going to bed, never having them on overnight. so never really had lights on the exterior or anything. But there were places that would kind of do the thing and go all out. There's a, I can't remember what it's called. I think it isn't actually Moorebank. There's a place near Liverpool, and not only do they have a carols service, like an outdoor carols thing. Like, oh, I had never done that until last year when I was out there. We have these two big carol services that happen in Sydney and Melbourne. And Melbourne's one is televised. It's just known as Carols by Candlelight. But the Sydney one is Carols in the Domain. Never went to... I don't think I ever went to Carols in the Domain. I'm trying to remember if I went with Stephen one year. Did we go? Or did we just loiter around? I think we kind of loitered around and contemplated going but didn't actually go. I don't think. I don't remember ever going in. I think we went. Pretty sure that was my first time last year going to Carols in the Domain. Which is, you know, it was fun. But I was with my niece, Madeline, and her 3 kids, Riley. Speaking of kids, will you two stop? Hey! Pause. I had to see to those fighting kids. Stay there, you, mister. Naughty kids. Speaking of which, Carols in the Domain, and not so naughty kids, but after hours of being at the Domain, waiting for the carols to begin, because, you know, that's the thing, you get there early and so you got your spot and all that. So yeah, with my niece Madeline and her 3 kids, Riley. I wanted to say, I'm in my head, I'm going, should I say Alexis or should I say Lexi or should I say Alex? Known as Alex these days. And Evangeline. Evangeline's like 3 years old and damn crazy. Riley's autistic and can, you know, get quite overwhelmed with things going on and is susceptible to having meltdowns. So, you know, it was all good. Actually, Riley was pretty good most of the time. He did have one meltdown during the time. It didn't start well in that he needs to have noise cancelling headphones, which were left behind in the car. So Maddie had to go back to the car park, which is, you know, ages away, and then Riley was left with me and my sister, which then was making him feel really anxious because he's left with us and Maddie's gone off and she's taken ages and he's starting to get really kind of anxious and overwhelmed because they're doing sound checks and things are happening, and then, you know, he's needing his noise cancelling headphones, which he hasn't got, which Maddie is going to retrieve from the car, and and it's all going really swimmingly. also oh my god, also it started really hot. The day started hot and very sunny, and we were like not undercover, out and exposed, and getting really damn hot. And then, oh my god, it just clouded over and the wind picked up, and then it got freezing cold. Wow. I mean, the temperature just dropped away. And then it looked like, the kind of wind picked up so much that we were getting worried that it was going to end up being cancelled because the wind really started to pick up, and you could see things like the big screens that were either side of the stage were starting to kind of sway about, and we're like, shit, is this thing gonna get called off or what the hell? But it all went ahead and it was all okay. But by the time it actually hit the actual carol service, I mean, we got there at what time? Trying to think. Oh god, I'm talking all Christmassy stuff. What am I talking about? We got there at, I think we got there, oh god, we got there pretty early, about 2 o'clock or something like that. Maybe a little earlier. And the actual carol service wasn't starting till 9. I think it was 9. Might have been 8. 7:30 at the earliest. It was fairly late-ish, I think, because it was being televised as well. So I don't think it started until 9. I don't think, but we didn't stay very long at all. I mean, we probably saw about 45 minutes of the carol service, and the kids were just going, Riley was getting bored, and Alex was really cold, and so yeah, it was fun. But back to where I was getting at was that locally, just outside Liverpool, I think it was is it Moorebank? Sorry, I meant to have a look, and then I got interrupted by those children over there. I don't think it was Moorebank, was it? Was it I can't even say it. Wattle Grove? Must have been Wattle Grove. I think. But a suburb not very far from Liverpool had a little carol service. But they also did lighting, like all the whole community got together and did Christmas lights. And I mean, like, American style, like friggin' hell, like, just flooding the national grid kind of light things, like went there one year. It was actually nice. It was nice to have. That was the only other like carol service that I've been to. This is the weird thing. This is a crazy thing about Christmas in Oz, is like things like doing outdoor carol services at night because it's so friggin' hot. Usually, I mean, you gotta sort of have your own like spin on things, because it always felt weird growing up. It always felt weird to experience Christmas in summer because everything else about it is just so northern hemisphere centric. It's so like winter themed, and it just, there was no, like, there wasn't really anything that went, hey, there's Christmas down under, and we have like barbecues and things, and there wasn't theme stuff like that. And there's not kind of, decorations that are like themed that way and stuff. Everything is like just that kind of northern hemisphere American European centric of like, you have a tree and there's snow and there's robins and there's log fires and Santa comes down a friggin' chimney and like that's one of the first things that you think about as a kid when you're going, how the hell's Santa meant to come into our place? We don't have a chimney. How's he gonna get? How do we get our presents? Does he just come walking through the door? Does he smash his way in through a window? Like, how's he meant to come into us and give us our presents? You just think these things like, we don't have a chimney. How's he gonna deliver it? And what do you give him? Like milk and cookies? A beer and a meat pie? Why'd the reindeers get hot? Yeah. So it always felt really weird. First Christmas I had here. God, I was just so in love with the whole experience of like, I'm going like, oh, proper northern hemisphere cold, like just the way Christmas is meant to be. and it snowed 2 days after Christmas. I was in seventh heaven. Because that was my absolute very first experience of snow, being here. Never had it, never went anywhere in Oz where it snowed. So it was absolutely my first experience of snow. Oh my God, I was just so in heaven. And it wasn't a little fall either. It was a nice dumping. It was lovely. Oh, I was so happy. And so, yeah, I mean, when people go, snow, I hate snow, it's horrible, you can't do anything, I'm like, no. I still have that. I mean, after a while, if it's, but even a couple of years back, I could just, I felt it all over again, like, they're just having my friends here, and just, back in Luton, and just, they were here in February and into March, and it was just seeing their excitement of like the snow. They quickly got sick of it because it was like, was that the beast from the east thing? I think it was. It was we had a few weeks of it kind of thing, and I got a little hemmed in after a while because you know how it is with the UK, and it doesn't really deal with snow very well. um, I don't know where I'm going, and it's like half an hour in. Jesus Christ, I don't know. One whole year here. I don't know how I envisaged how this year was going to turn out, but I really did not see this one coming. I didn't see the year turning out quite as it has done. I don't think anyone could have foreseen it. I do. If anyone did, well, I don't know how you freaking did. Maybe some people might have had an inkling. I think I mean, coronavirus did kind of start off in December in China, didn't it? So maybe feels like little inkling, but even in December in China, it didn't seem like it was going to be. I mean, it looked scary, and but not to where we've ended up. Jesus. I see arguments on both sides about things, and it does seem like to some degree it does feel like we have as a collective of human beings used a sledgehammer to crack a nut, like just in terms of have we been really, really over cautious and kind of just almost knee jerked and reacted to this far kind of neurotic than we should have done. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously been quite a number of cases and quite a number of deaths from it, but it's playing devil's advocate, because I'm not going to say that these measures have been wrong, but yes, there's a but. Maybe a slight but. Just wondering whether, I don't know, you just wonder if things could have been handled differently, or if instead of being too complacent at the beginning, if there had been a rapid response and an actual super vigilant, super strong lockdown right at the beginning, right in the early days, not just kind of airy fairy like, oh yeah, we'll get to that eventually, but for now, let's just have Cheltenham Festival running, and keep having football matches with crowds and stuff, and like and just being kind of a bit sort of laissez-faire about it, rather than maybe if we tackled it being a lot more vigilant to begin with, then we could have possibly nipped it in the bud earlier, but I don't know. There has been a very, very strange year as a result. Yeah. And I say it started well, I say the year kind of started well and then got shitty about March, but hey, those fires in Oz were horrific, absolutely horrific. I thought 1994 was bad. 1994 was bad, but nothing on a par to how it was last year. And to be out there and experiencing that firsthand rather than seeing it here, and well appreciate just how much more devastating it was than 94. So yeah, didn't start really great. One minute. Sorry about that. So yeah, it didn't start in the best of ways, especially for Oz. But personally, other than the grief for Mum, tempered with this, the year started out pretty damn well for me on a personal level, and then just getting into the gigs and everything, and then then that. I don't know what else to talk about. Somebody posted this morning talking about writing songs. I had seen this Jeff Tweedy book. I don't know if that is the same Jeff Tweedy book he's referencing, but I had seen it in all the music mags and people like giving it very good feedback and talking about it. I have to say, the name Jeff Tweedy meant nothing to me. When I was seeing the name being bandied about, and then interviews in music magazines featuring him, and be like, who is he? God, it's just like the Nikki from bloody... what is that show called? I can't think. Oh my god, my brain's not working. The Big Brother, that's it. Nikki from Big Brother, like, and he was the, who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her? Yes, I did watch Big Brother. I watched the most crappiest crap on TV. And that's why I don't. That's why I don't watch TV anymore. Oh. Sorry, I'm just looking. Yeah, anyway, I really should go because this is now turning into, I don't know what it's turned into. I did want to talk about, oh wait, yeah, I was starting to talk about his post, wasn't I? And I did watch the thing about, what's his what's his face, what's his face, who did the thing, And him, the dude who did that song. Him, what's his face? That New Yorker bloke who did that thing about, walking on the wild side and all that. You know him. What's his name? Oh, jeez. Hang on, let me think. Is it uh Reed? I think it's. And that guy called Elvis, not the one, but Lou Reed, that's the dude, and Elvis Costello, and Elvis is kind of interviewing him for some show or something, and asked him about Sweet Jane, and yeah, and he linked to that, and so I was watching that bit, and I was going, wow, Lou seems rather, given the reputation, and given some of the interviews that I have seen, he seemed rather like upbeat and jovial and well up for the crack, as they say. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I could actually write a song or bake a cake, to be honest. I'm, I would have slightly more confidence about baking the cake than I would about writing the song, that's for sure. Yeah. I've kind of written, like, if I can say written, seeing as I don't know, like, music. I can barely read the music, the notes that Charisse gives me. I kind of know where, the things are, what represents the snares and the toms and the bass and the cymbals. And barely just about place them and know where they should be. I should get back to it. I've left it for so long. I just got to a point where I just went, I'm too old. Why am I doing this? It's basically a hobby. I don't need to learn. It's a waste of money. It just frustrates me and brings me down because I'm not good enough. And I'm too old. And I'll never be good enough. And there's no point in me doing it, etc., etc. But I did enjoy it. I do enjoy it. When I'm not being frustrated by it. When I'm not, like, trying to do a proficient hi-hat on Chelsea Girl and it just sounds like it's going and it's just out of sync and out of rhythm and I'm just and I just feel shit. And as good as the electronic drum kit is, I still would love an acoustic kit, but then too expensive. And it would need to be out in the garage, and the garage is full of other stuff right now. So yeah. And then I'm thinking, I have been thinking on and off going, well, maybe I should just take up another instrument, you know, back in the vast, you know, vestiges of time when I was a wee girl. It would have been, I probably would have taken up the bass. Because I would have just been going, oh, I want to be Susie Quattro. Not knowing it as a 4-year-old what the hell she was playing. It didn't compute to me that it was a bass guitar and not just, you know, a guitar. But I could see that. I could see just switching to bass, giving up the drums. I've got a head start in that I have no nails, so I'm not gonna have to worry about my nails chipping all the time. There's a start. I already got a heads up on most other people with my, you know, let's say that, you know, let's attribute this as a stimming thing and say, yay, there's positivity in stimming and being a nail biter. Turn it on its head instead of, you know, always feeling very ashamed that my nails look like this. There you go. I don't intend to just show them off quite like that because, as I say, it's not exactly something that I'm proud of. I've tried different things. I put on falsies and everything, and I just peel the falsies off and just, you know, when you need your thing that helps you with stuff, it's your coping mechanism, then anyway, it's 47 minutes now, and I really should go. Because I need to respond to something. And yeah. Hooray for Glasgow and 1 year of being in this wonderful, amazing, glorious, beautiful city that I love. It's just, I love it, I love it. I do love being here. I do love it. I hope I never, ever, ever fall out of love with it. I don't think I will, because it's just, you know, has my heart like in a vice-like grip.